It's Ramsey Dewey, and put your gi on. It's cuddle time. Get yourself a sweet t-shirt like this at xmarshall.com. Friends of this channel for a very long time and makers of fine sportswear, t-shirts, rash guards, shorts, and training gear for combat sports. I'm a little under the weather today, hence my voice is not its regular, magnanimous self. Instead, it sounds like a scratchy dragon in a cave suffering from a sore throat or something. But onward and outward. Welcome to this edition of Q&A with the Coach. Our first question comes from Dr. Time TV 1577, who says, martial art, fighting art, what is your stance on there being a big difference between the two? Well, those two terms are synonymous. A lot of people don't know this, but the term martial art originated in the English language in English sword fighting manuals to describe fighting, dueling, specifically with swords. Yeah, European sword fighting. That's where the term martial arts was introduced into the English language. In more modern times, the word has been co-opted to basically be synonymous with Asian, traditional martial arts. But that's not actually what it means. It just means fighting arts. Martial, of or pertaining to war or fighting or combat. Mars, the god of war. Harry the Greek guy is going to be very happy about that. Wait, no, Ares was the Greek god of war. There were multiple Greek gods of war, weren't they? And Mars was the Roman god of war. But then again, Harry would say, all the Roman stuff was borrowed from the Greeks, so it's all Greek anyway, so whatever. The point is, martial refers to combat or fighting, so martial art means fighting art. That's it. But let's see where Dr. Time TV is going with this. He says, Master Jeff Speakman, I'm not familiar with who that is, of American Kenpo stated, UFC MMA should be more appropriately called fighting arts because they focus on ground and pound. Ground and pound is just one aspect of mixed martial arts. If you look at actual statistics of MMA fights, professional MMA fights, they're all recorded. You can go to UFC.com, for example, and look up their fight statistics. You'll see ground and pound accounts for a portion of what happens in fights. Man. So MMA focuses on every range of combat. So it's not an accurate statement you just made there, or that Master Jeff Speakman made there. Anyway, while not also going into what one can do for another. Oh, I think I see where this is going. This is one of those martial arts is synonymous with being a good person type of posts, which it's not. Martial arts has nothing to do with the content of your character. It means fighting art, that's it. And art doesn't mean arts and crafts. It means the ability to do something and to do it well. In other words, martial arts is literally how to fight well. But we continue with this question. While not also going into what one can do for another. That sounds a little bit more like Christianity. Like the admonition of Jesus and Paul to, the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's a tenet of Christianity. It's a tenet of Confucianism. It's basically a tenet of being a nice person, being a productive member of society. But it's not directly correlated to martial arts in any reasonable way. Let's be honest about what martial arts is. I know a lot of martial arts schools tend to turn into Cub Scout meetings for kids where they try to instill values in kids, and that's good. Sometimes that's important. Kids need some structure and value and guidance and good role models in their lives, but to confuse the idea of good role modeling and good pedagogy and teaching and morals and virtues with martial arts is factually and pragmatically incorrect. But there's more to this question. Well, Jeff Speakman, has said that a martial artist is of service to others, making themselves a better person in the process. Okay, again, we're conflating martial arts with being a good person. And I know a lot of people out there confuse these two. And anytime they see a martial artist, meaning someone who is skilled in the art of combat, in any facet of combat, fighting, whatever you want to call it, and they do something that is not virtuous, lovely, praiseworthy, or of good report, they will say, "Oh, you are not a true martial artist." And what they mean by that is you're not being very Christ-like, is what they mean. So let's be honest. If you're talking about Christianity, talk about Christianity. If you're talking about following the tenets of Confucianism or Buddhism or some other religion, great, let's be honest about what that is. But martial arts is fighting arts. It's not a moral code. And if you try to... A lot of people fall into this trap of replacing religion with a martial arts gym that they go to, and God or a deity or a priest or a prophet or something with a martial arts instructor, and then that is a recipe to create a cult. And shout out to Rob at McDojo Life. If you watch his channel, and you should, he reports a lot on terrible cult-like behavior that leads to harm in the martial arts community that happens often because people heap this type of trust upon unfit martial arts instructors who are not good role models and don't have the best of intentions. And more often than not, are regular people who, when they are heaped upon with the enormous burden of responsibility and the seeming power that comes with it, they tend to start going down the dark path of being a sociopathic, charismatic cult leader, and they abuse that power. How do they abuse that power? Well, lots of different ways. Actual abuse of children, pedophilia runs rampant in a lot of gyms where children are taught. So, if you take your kids to a martial arts school, to any institution where children are taught, make sure to vet that institution carefully first, because you can't simply assume, oh, they're true martial artists, that must mean they're good people. No. Do your due diligence first. Because it is a martial arts instructor's responsibility to teach you how to fight, not to give you a religion or a moral ethical code. If you want that, go to a church, man. But there's more to this question. Remember, we are not talking about the ability to defend or beat someone. Why not? But other aspects associated with these systems, question mark, but not actually a question. Thanks a lot, Ramsey. Okay, so, yeah. So why aren't we talking about pragmatic fighting abilities if we're discussing martial arts? Because that's what it is. Long story short. In summary, in conclusion, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Now get out there and train.